So guys, here's the deal. My house is on fire again. I want to be able to pull the fire alarm. The problem with that is my options to pull it are quite limited. Let's say I'm having a nice old nap. I look over and the freaking house is on fire again. I get up because I don't want to get toasted today. And I'm like, crap, this place is on fire. So obviously, I want to get out of this place. And I ain't walking extra far. Nobody got time for that. I want to go out here. That's right. I want out right here. I don't want to go anywhere else. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go out up there. And I don't want to go out up there. And I don't want to jump out a window. I want to go out right here. But then, right before I leave, I think, do I want to let them burn? Or do I want to run away from my problems? Of course I want to run away from my problems. Pulling fire alarms is fun. And then I look around and realize there ain't any here. And then I ponder the situation for about 10 minutes and realize I've got to go all the way upstairs. Just to then get to this pull station. So here is our one and only pull station, which is at the front door of my house in this entrance / stairwell right here. We have a 1 NBG12LX pull station beside the fire alarm annunciator. All jokes aside, my plan in this video is to add another pull station to my home fire alarm system. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, I installed a Notifier addressable fire alarm system in my home to offer better protection than what the residential smoke alarms offer, and more customization and more ability to do things the way I want them done. When I originally installed the system, we installed smoke detectors and sounders and horn strobes, but we only did the one pull station at the front entry, and this is sort of one of the major entrances to the house. The house has 3 or 4 main entrances. We have the front door, and we have this door, as well as this garage space. The front door, which I already showed you guys, and then a sliding door to the patio sun deck out there. So today's video, we're going to be adding one downstairs at the back door and garage. So I want to install a pull station down here. Ideally, it would be nice to have it right beside that door. However, that's not possible in this finished space without going on the surface. I thought originally I could pull out these cans and fish wire through just like how I fished down to this area of the house, which sure I could get through the ceiling, but then I need to somehow get down this wall. And if you actually look, there is a top plate right there, so I'd have to try and drill up through it and then somehow with a long drill bit, which would just be a lot of work, and there's a higher likelihood of stuff getting damaged that way. So instead, I'm going to put the pull station on this wall, which is it right at the back entrance? No, but it's all that is possible. And it also kind of covers this entrance here too, actually. And this is easy to get at because our SLC runs through the ceiling there and into this box right there, where I can then run through this pipe that the knack is in and punch into the wall and drop down. For anyone getting too concerned saying, well, it's not right at the door, blah, 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 blah. Well, first of all, it doesn't need to be right at the door. As long as it's within your pathway to the exit, it's fine. And second of all, this pull station is not legally required to be there. This system doesn't need to be here and isn't required to go through a proper 536 verification. So none of this is required. It's all extra. All I need to do is have one smoke detector per floor. I've already gone above and beyond with this system. So I'm going to be installing another Notifier NBG12LX pull station, which I'm going to mount on this wall right here near this light switch. We're going to begin by marking out our box height location, which the pull stations to the new code need to be between 1050 and 1150 millimeters, so 1050 and 1150 millimeters. Which is very low, and I try and go towards the top of it. So 1150, well, there's 1000, there's 1050 right there, and 1150 is right here. So 150, so from 105 to 115 centimeters is the height we need to be at. Now that is referring to the pull handle. So we can go anywhere right around here. So I think I'd like to cut the box in right here. All right, let's cut in our box. There we go. Now we may have to make it larger. We'll see. Or it might fit in there. Yeah, that will work. Now we need to take this guy down so I can get access to behind this box. That's going to put the system in trouble. NAC 1 level 1. We'll acknowledge that. And I'm just going to loosen off our mounting bracket here so I can get access to the screws in the box, so I can take the box off of the wall, and then I will be able to drill the hole behind, because I'm hoping to just swivel everything up and out of the way. Now I'm hoping to just loosen off this strap here and loosen off this set screw, and I'll be able to rotate this guy up. Knock one of these guys out. Fish sticks would work too, but for this, fish tape might be a little easier to work with. So I always try and use up what little scraps of wire I have laying around before opening up a big bundle. We probably don't need a lot. I'll see what I can do with a shorter piece like this guy. I think this little piece might actually be sufficient. We're not going from far. just from there up into the box, and then if I can make it reach all the way to this box where our SLC is, that would be great. Now you can see I have quite a bit more that I can pull up here. So I'll just keep pulling on this while keeping an eye down here. Okay, we'll leave it like that for now. Now let's do up our box down here. Take our box. Then we'll enter that into our box. Now this is a 5 conductor because I maintain a loop system. I don't T-tap. T-tapped systems are a nightmare to try and work on. You always want systems to be wired in a loop. Class A is ideal, but this building was a retrofit system, so Class A isn't always practical to be done. You can see that's snugged up on there, but not crushing the insulation down. So I can now put this in the wall. What was I saying? Yes, loop systems, as long as they're wired in a loop, whether it's Class A or B, is ideal. Either are just as easy to troubleshoot. Maybe B is even easier because you can think a little straighter. But for max survivability of the system in an event that something is severed, Class A is superior. I will now install our Madison bars. Some call them F-clips, F-bars, Madison bars, whatever. These are your Madison clips, F-bars. You slide them in just like this. You can get it around the little bump there. And once you get them in, you can slide them then the other way. Sometimes it can be easier with something to push on. But then obviously that can pull right back out. So then you go and you slide it up because you saw it was longer on one end. You slide it down and then you can slide it up and then get your box in. And this will be one side. We need it to line up with the box still, but there you go. So then once it's like that, you want to push the box in while pulling your clip out. And actually there's a small adjustment I want to make to this box first, because I'm seeing it's kind of sitting out a little bit from the wall. So is what I want to do is back off this screw on the top and push this out all the way. I'll do the same thing on the bottom here. Loosen this, push it out all the way, because you can adjust them to sit in longer if you have another layer of drywall to go on or something. Okay, now we're back to where we left off. Flush to the wall to get it all the way back. You want to pull this forward and bend it over. And then you will bite them closed. Same at the bottom. Pull it out. Push it over. Now I probably could have found a stud and got it really nice and secure to the stud, but it will be plenty strong with just this. Take our other F-clip here. There we go, slide it up a little. So I don't like to cut the boxes too much excess, because sure it'll still work, but then it ends up being really floppy and harder to get your clips to work for you nicely. Push it in, bend it over, push it in, bend it over. Looks like we gotta slide it up a little bit. Okay, now we'll pinch it, pinch it, pinch it, pinch it. Okay, there's our box here. That's good and solid. It moves a little bit, but it's pretty solid. Enough down here. Let's get this wire pulled to its final destination. I am going to push our 4040 connector into here. And we can push our fire alarm cable into here. You see we've got a lot there, which is good. That's what we want. And if I can do this one-handed, would be great. Okay, I'm going to re-secure our box to the wall. Okay, so now we've got all this excess, which you can see is plenty long enough to go into this box. So now I will take the cover off of this box that we'll need to splice into our SLC loop. This box may be getting a little busy. Luckily, box fill doesn't quite matter so much because box fill is primarily focused around heat. So lots of times with fire alarm, you'll notice box fill just gets completely ignored, which it really shouldn't be. Heat isn't a problem, but it's still good workmanship to have enough space to easily access things. I'm not gonna lie, this one might be getting close to over the box fill. Luckily, it is mostly 18 gauge. We can still fit some more in there. It's getting a little busy though. So take the end of our fire alarm cable here, push it up through this conduit. Hoping we wouldn't need the fish tape. However, it's getting a little tight in there. Okay, this is enough SLC wire up here. So I'm going to actually leave the rest of it coiled up in here because if I ever wanted to, say, add something else off of this box, I want to have enough to splice into. And we probably don't need quite that much. But to leave this much wouldn't hurt. There we go. Okay, so we got to splice up our SLC up here. We don't need quite this much length. First things first, I'm going to strip this guy back here. I'm going to tie my ground into the rest of the grounds up there. How this is wired is this is our SLC in. Then we go out this conduit to this heat detector. So we go from SLC in, out to the heat detector, and then it's a 4-wire where it returns from the heat detector and then goes out to the bedroom. We're not going to mess with that side. We're going to splice into it after it comes from SLC in, then go down to our pull station. We'll go down to the pull station on the red and black. We'll tie into the SLC in, and then the blue with the brown coming back from the pull station is what is now going to tie into that heat detector. So basically the first, as far as on electrically, the first device from the SLC in will be the pull station, then the heat detector, and then out to the bedroom. So I know I'm going to need 2 more barrettes. We will be getting some troubles on the system as we take apart the SLC, but I'm just going to let the trouble signal go because we don't really care. So we'll prepare our new wires going down to the pull station first to minimize the amount of time we are in trouble. And now we'll get troubles So this is our SLC in. I don't bother twisting this small 18. It usually holds together pretty good without pre-twisting. Larger conductors I will pre-twist though, 14 and bigger usually. So this is our SLC in getting spliced to the supply side of our pull station. There you can see, without pre-twisting, this small wire twists together pretty good. We'll go more once I get it tighter. That's our SLC into this box positive going to our pull station, and this is going to be our SLC in negative going down to our pull station. And then this is our SLC going to the detector right here, because we don't mess with the return from the detector. That's just going straight spliced to the bedroom. So now this will be the return from the pull station going to the supply of the detector. It might sound a little complicated, it's not really. It's just maintaining one loop, not T-tapping it off. So blue is negative, because I wired this system in the correct colors where black and blue are negative and brown and red are positive. That's the correct colors. My garage system that was done years ago, that was originally wired before I messed it up. And because of that, I just left it, because it's not worth trying to resort out the whole system. It's fine if the colors are wrong, as long as they're consistently wrong and you know it. I forgot we're actually going to maintain in trouble because this isn't spliced together. So I will acknowledge this. We should have 2 invalid replies. Should be missing just the detector, because we spliced to the pull station first before that detector, and a detector in the bedroom. So yep, heat detector garage level 1 invalid reply. And smoke photo address 6, bedroom 4, which that point is actually says edroom 4. That was number 6. See, we weren't even here for this problem. Modified point. It is a detector 006. Smoke detector, but we want to call this bedroom 4 space level 1. That looks better. Okay, so we're just left with these 2 invalid replies. I've done some labeling here. I've tried to label this system really well since this is a new install and I had the opportunity to do it right. I decided to go crazy with the labeling, because on the last system I was like, oh yeah, I'll remember where that comes from and where it goes. And then once ceilings are put up and everything's covered up and you can't see things, after a few years you begin to forget, and you then start kicking yourself saying, why did I not label it? It would have been so easy and saved me such a headache. So this one I've labeled. This is already labeled SLC in, if you could read it. This is SLC to pull, and then this is SLC or pull return, and then this is labeled garage heat. So we can close this all back up here. Believe it or not, that all fit in there just fine. So we're going to put the cover on now. That should be it for the ladder work now. All right, let's get things put together at this pull station now. So first of all, we have to bond the box. And I want to talk about bonding boxes, because when I installed the system, there's lots of confusion about bonding plastic boxes, that people didn't realize our plastic boxes in Canada have a bonding strap. So if you bond the box, if it's, say, a light switch going in place, we don't require a bond on that switch itself, which is really nice when you have a bank of, say, 3, 4, 5, 100 switches right beside each other. Not having that ground conductor exposed is really nice, and it's something that we do in Canada, where unless it's a receptacle, we don't have to bond the device if the box is bonded, which all of our boxes are bonded, even our plastic boxes. we're not actually just bonding plastic, believe it or not. There is actually a metal strap at the back which connects to one of the screws. That way your device is bonded that way. Also, lots of people didn't realize fire alarm legally has to be bonded. Low voltage or not, it is life safety and it is required to be bonded and will fail an inspection, will fail a verification if you can't get a ground fault at every location. So yes, fire alarm does very much have to be bonded. Okay, we're ready to hook up our pull station now. So we'll strip all of our colors back here. We are now ready to hook it up to our pull station. So our black and brown will go together here onto terminal number 2, which is this one. This is our positive terminal. And then we'll hook up our negatives here onto the negative terminal. The reason we're in trouble is just because we are now initializing. Oops, shorted out our SLC if you saw that little spark there. It's okay, it has isolators. It was probably fast enough, nothing even tripped, but if it did, it would have only lost the first floor. Common to popular belief, shorting out the SLC does not damage anything. There you go. That is now pulling red, as you may be able to see. It'll go green eventually once it's initialized. So we can tuck these down and then down like that. And this is ready to go onto the wall. Need to grab a couple 632s though. Alright, we can now screw this guy to the wall. I have some 632s. I just cut these ones down a little shorter. They were pretty long. Now, as far as getting it level, I don't really care as long as it's parallel with the wall. That's what's more important. And yeah, that looks good, but this isn't going to do anything yet because it's not programmed into the system. So we need to set its address. Now we want our tens place at 0. And our ones place we are going to set. Let me think here. Our first pull station is number 1. I have a monitor module that is address number 2. And I have a relay module that is address number 3. So we can make this address 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our work down here is done. We just got to program it in now. You can see our system is all clear now. So I will go into programming. Basic program, and we will do an auto program for it to find the point. On notifier panels, on all of their Onyx series, well, I shouldn't say all of it, but as far as 640s and 320s, I'm not sure about 3030s. It's probably the same. I could be wrong though. 3030s are the only panels that have significant changes. The 640s and 320s are pretty identical. Auto program is the only option. It's not like Firelight panels. Like if you've watched me add a program on my 9200 UDLS, you would have seen that I usually, instead of auto program, I go to point program, and there's an option for modify point, or I think it's called edit point, delete point, or add point. And if I'm adding something, I go to add point and punch in my address that I want to add. Firelight does also have a auto program function, which if you've added a whole bunch of points, the auto program is certainly faster. But for me, most of the time I'm just adding a singular point, and it is much faster to just manually tell the panel what point to be looking for instead of it searching its whole loop, because the auto program certainly takes a lot of time. Now begins the point of waiting. Oh, well, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so that is the new point it found. Monitor, we want to make that a pull station. Module address number 4. When this goes into alarm, lots of people will add it to pull station and then type in pull station. That's a pet peeve. It drives me crazy when people do that, because it looks like crap when it comes up as pull station anyways, because it's going to display this. It's going to display pull station. You don't need to say pull station twice. So we'll call it pull station, and we will call this back exit level 1, and maybe I'll type in laundry here. Okay, pull station, laundry, back exit. So once the system is initializing, this new point should be ready to go. Okay, you can see our system is now back to normal, all initialized, so we'll give it a test. Not that one, but now my second pull station option. Alrighty. First test. So there you go. Pull station, laundry. Actually, I'd like to get rid of this address and number 4, because it already tells you the module down there. It says loop 1 module 4 anyways, so you really don't need that extra information. That's another thing I like to get rid of. So we'll do a reset on that. Crap, did I reset the pull station? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Go back into programming. Oh, right, we shut our furnace down. I forgot about that. I should have bypassed that point. Modify point module 4. So I'm actually going to put space there and then type our back. Actually, maybe I'd like to do laundry slash back exit. Pull station laundry slash back exit level 1. Yeah, that's probably enough information. Programming level, 1. And I'm going to disable, and this is going to be module 3. Enable, disable, and I'm going to do output circuit 1, disable, outputs. There's no one home. I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, I'm here now. Output 2. Disable. I should actually add all of this stuff to a zone, like HVAC shutdown and both the NACs, so it's something easy to bypass. It's only 3 points, which isn't too bad, but I guess 1, if I just added to zone 99, would be a little easier. So I'm going to quickly just see what it comes up as. I want to see what it comes up as the panel, at the panel and the annunciator, because they display it a little differently. Okay, laundry, or alarm pulse station, laundry / back exit with 2 Bs apparently, so I'll fix that and then we'll be done. I'm not doing very good at getting this right, am I? Actually, I could probably fit level 1 right there too. Yes, I can. So then I'll delete this level 1. Okay, pull station laundry / back exit. Who knows if I spelt it right, but that should be good there. Okay, there you go. Sorry about how many tries that took to get the programming right. That's kind of embarrassing. That was terrible. Well guys, there you go. That is the pull station install. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you do have any comments or questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section. And if you do enjoy my channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, I do have an Instagram account at Pickle700 for bonus content and content posted earlier than you'd see it on the YouTube channel. That sort of thing. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching.